I have been following the production of this movie ever since it was announced. I think originally it was supposed to come out in 2021, but then they couldn't find the right director, so it just kind of sat in limbo until they announced in 2022 that it was finally coming out in 2024, and it was worth the wait. My sister is actually a huge fan of the musical, and when the movie Oz the Great Powerful came out, I dressed up to see it as Oz, and she went as Elphaba or the Wicked Witch. And I think she actually saw the show live at one point when it came here, and she was also in her elementary school's production of The Wiz, where she played a citizen of the Emerald City. And in her formative years, about 12 years ago, she would constantly play and sing the songs from Wicked. So I have had some good exposure to this musical, and all that hype was totally worth it. Unlike certain movie musical adaptations where it just looks like a bigger budget version of the musical, this actually looks really cinematic. Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo have a good dynamic with each other, and the actor who plays Fiyero really hams it up in the best way. Now, while Ariana Grande does give a good performance, it just felt like she was copying Kristen Chenoweth from the Broadway version. The way she talks, her tone of voice, all feel very reminiscent of Chenoweth's performance in the Broadway show, instead of making the character and songs her own. And while Jeff Goldblum gives a good performance as the wizard, he was clearly only cast based on his namesake rather than his singing ability. And his performance as the wizard just feels like every other character he's played. The movie conveys its anti-prejudice message in a way that doesn't feel heavy-handed or preachy, and it doesn't try to make the witch a sympathetic villain. Now, this is part one of two, and if I didn't know that, I'd still be satisfied with where this film ends. It doesn't feel abrupt, it feels earned. This movie is likely going to be popular, but let's say for whatever reason it doesn't make enough money for the studio to justify making part two, I'd still be fine with that, because it doesn't feel like there's anything that needs to be continued. So whether or not you're a fan of the musical, Wicked soars high, see it. For me, it gets an A minus, 9 out of 10, and a 4 out of 5 stars.